I'm cleaning my bathroom, and yesterday my husband gave me the good news that I'm getting a new sink. Now, this sink is not that old, but here's the deal with it. It's only like maybe a year old, but when I go to clean it, there's like a mark in it, and it doesn't come out, like a rust mark, and it's like my sink. It's like a year old, it has a rust mark in it, and ever since we got this sink, we just haven't been happy with it. I'm cleaning the bathroom, so it's kind of yucky in here anyway, But my thought is, or rather, my husband said, let's just get a pedestal sink here to give us more room in the bathroom. We had one before and we really liked it, and we just got this one actually just to update it. We probably should have just kept our other sink. I liked it a lot better. And so, anyway, we're going to get a new sink. This thing popped off. Like I said, I'm cleaning my bathroom. That thing popped off. I mean, my sink wasn't that old, and I mean, it's just one thing after another. So I said, and we use our sinks a lot because of the fact that we have a little farm and things like that. So we talked about it, and we just said, to give more room in the bathroom and things like that. So we are going to ditch the sink. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you guys, which has to do with the sink, was this, and this is the main purpose of this video. Um, I'm suggesting this to you because I do this all the time. I try to learn about all kinds of things like plumbing and everything else because if a problem arises, I will know how to fix it. Like if the sink got clogged or, you know, like one time I lived in an apartment, or actually I think it was my house, and I turned on my bathroom water and it would not turn off for my tub. So I quick called the plumber, praying that he would come because it was on full blast and it was just coming and coming and coming, and I'm picturing the whole house getting flooded. Fortunately for me, he came right over. But if you know little things, like maybe you know how to shut the water off, which at that time I don't think I knew how to shut the water off. I always say I grew up from a princess to a queen because now I rule, and queens have to know all kinds of things. We have to know, how to rule basically and how to delegate. So I think the days we're living in, I think it's good to know, like they used to say, it's not what you know, but like how to get things done. Like maybe I didn't know everything, but I had the connections to get something done. But I think these days you need to know how to do things. It'll make you a more valuable employee. It'll make you a better thing. Because if you're say I go to a job and I'm the only girl they're going to hire for a secretary, and I get talking to the boss and I tell him that I know plumbing and I know this and this and that. If he asks me what my hobbies are, I said, I do all kinds of stuff. He might think that's good to know because if he's gone out of town, which I have worked for guys that were gone all the time, like maybe they'd be out of the state and stuff. And if the plumbing went bad, which I have been at places like that before, I would know how to fix it and have connections to fix it and know what the initial problem is so that maybe I couldn't go do it myself, but I could know what the problem is. And it also helps you to know if you're getting ripped off, if somebody's working on something, you'll think, I know that's not the problem because I know this and this and that. Or in an extreme case, maybe you didn't have the money. You could fix it yourself or tell someone else to fix it. Now, what I'm going to do with my sink, when we put the new one in, I'm going to see if I can get my son to come over because I don't think he's ever put a new sink in. And I'm going to ask him if he's interested in helping my husband put the sink in. My husband can do it all by himself. He doesn't need the help or anything. But I think it's a good thing to teach my son that because he bought a house and that way he'll know how to fix his sink. So little things like that are important to know for yourself. I think a lot of people, the days we live in today, we just delegate everything out. And I think that it's good to learn. I'm not saying you have to be a master plumber. If that's your interest, it could end up being a career for you. But if you know the basics, you can shut the water off, unclog a sink, knowing if it needs a couple of these, up and downs, or if it needs um, chemicals, or if you need to call a plumber, or if you need a snake, and if you know where connections are, if you know a little bit about how your plumbing works. I think that's just smart. everything that has to do with your home as a woman, I think you need to know so that you can teach your children, so that you can help your husband, so that when my husband's holding and doing a job and he's laying on the floor and he says, go get me a wrench, I don't hand him a screwdriver, which I've done all that many times. But learning those little things that make you a more valuable person, and kind of like for me, it was getting rid of the princess mentality and growing up, really, because before it's like people would do things for me. I always had money to pay things down. I was overpaid a lot of times, I am sure, because I didn't know anybody at times, and people probably thought, they saw me coming and they thought, oh, some people probably, and then, all that. So anyway, that's my point. So we are getting a new sink. We're going to just get a pedestal sink. That's all I want. I don't want anything fancy. I just want something that works, is usable. My bathroom's not that big, and then I can enjoy it. And in the meantime, I'll just clean and work with this one. But I think once the weather breaks, he's going to do that, and then we'll put this one to the road, and somebody else can enjoy a new sink that works and functions, and there's no problems, and we'll bless another family, and we'll get something that we enjoy more, because like I said, I'm not happy with the sink. It's just, it's like I just felt like it was made shoddy, and I thought I would like one with a counter and a cabinet space underneath, but I don't. So this one's going. Okay, guys, let me know anything you know about any of this, any helps, any tips, any where to buy, any thoughts, any suggestions, and any suggestions for a small bathroom, any of that. So, especially when it applies to the sink. Tell me anything you know about sinks. Okay, guys, remember, big or small, you too can be a backyard farm. God bless.